The following refer to the following data set: 50.9, 63.2, and so forth. And round answers to 2 decimal places if necessary. What is the arithmetic mean of this data set? And then, what is the median of this data set? And finally, what is the mode of this data set? Now, because we have multiple statistics to find, it's going to be advantageous for us to use advanced features in the calculator to help us out. So one thing we can do is put our data into a list. So I'm in the list editor, and you can get there if you hit the stat button, then enter. And I've got list data already there. I'm just going to highlight the name of the list, clear, and enter to get rid of that, and put my data into the list. Now the reason I'm choosing this method to take advantage of the calculator is because if I did the mean first by hand and then the median second by hand, it's just going to take up more time to do each operation separately. But the calculator will do them almost instantly, so we'll let the calculator help us along here. Alright, so my data is in. Now I'm going to do some calculations by pressing the stat key, coming over to this helpful little function called oneVarstats. oneVarstats will do a bunch of calculations off of a set of data. You just need to tell it where your data is. So the list is the data set you're working with. Now this is all in L1, so there's only one list we're working with. So we'll leave that as L1. The frequency list, if it says anything, you want to hit clear because we don't have a frequency list. There's no frequencies to these data. Press calculate, and it will run oneVarstats. Oh, and if you weren't seeing that menu, you might be a little bit confused. You just would then type after the oneVarstats, put second and 1, and that puts the function L1 on screen, and that tells the calculator where your list is. Alright, so either way, once you get to this point, the very first item is the arithmetic mean. So 47.86, it says to use 2 decimals. Now, we don't have to do any additional work to get the median, because oneVarstats gives us the value of the median right away. You just have to scroll down to get to it. So it's down in the second page of output, and there we have 47.9 as the median. And the mode. Unfortunately, the calculators generally aren't able to do a mode. And the reason is that the mode is a calculation that's really supposed to be reserved for qualitative values. And that's easy enough to get around, especially with a small data set. We just go through and look for the value that occurs the most in the data set. So I see this 63.2 3 different times. The rest of the items appear only once. So the one that appears with the highest frequency would be 63.2.